Nikki Kumari, sir, it's Mayank. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Is Prihaji, good evening. Good evening to all of you, dear aspirants. So, Anand Kumarji, yes, good evening. Parshuram, yes, good evening. So, everybody is here with respect to our preparations for 2021 prelims examination. So, 2021 prelims examination, and that is going to be held on 27th of June. So, every day, 27th of June, here is a reminder for you. So, today is Monday, and on Monday we take up history. That is GS paper one. So GS paper one. So this is the topic which we discuss on on Monday. So GS paper one. That is Constitution, Polity, International Relations. Arya, good evening. Yes, Rahul Singh, Seema Yadav, and MSc. Yes, everybody, good evening. So on Wednesday, we will be taking up GS3, that is economy, and then on once again Thursday, we will be taking up science and technology as well as environment. On Friday, we will be discussing ethics, that is the you may say aptitude, attitude. So GS4, GS4. As far as our prelims preparation is concerned, there is no question from GS4, but we have to look up that. Saurabh Misra ji, Priyanka Singh, yes, good evening, very good. So on Friday, as far as our preparations in with respect to the prelims examination is concerned, we will be taking up GS4, that is ethics and aptitude. Pankaj Kumar Yadav, good evening. Yes, yes, very good evening. So let us start with the Indian history. So as far as the trend, that is the question pattern is concerned, right since 2011, that is 2011, up to 2020, the exam which was held on 4th of October, we find that at least 5 to 7 questions have been asked from modern India. So modern India is an important area from which UPSC is asking questions. Dear aspirants, this is the technique, this is the trick which I am going to explain before you today. According to me, I have observed looking at the question paper of the previous years. Here is the question bank. I find that the statistical data is accurate and it's correct one. So, what is there in modern India? What are the topics? Number one, the you will find. I will also discuss the questions, but here I categorize, I divide the period in three most important segments. And what is that? Advent of Europeans. This is segment A. Advent of Europeans. And in this segment, we study the Portuguese, the Danes, the French, and the British. Their advent, the purpose, trade, of course, trade, and after some time, territory. As far as the Britishers are concerned, trade, then territory. Then, once again, we will be discussing what was there. But the second most important phase is, that is EIC, East India Company. So, out of these 4 or 5 European who came into India since 1498, Vasco da Gama's arrival. Then what happened? This East India Company, they succeeded in overpowering the other European powers, the other European trade partners, I should say. So EIC, the period of EIC is from 1757 to 1857, 100 years period, 100 years period. Then what happened? In 1857, there was a mutiny. There was a mutiny, but this very mutiny, which occurred in the year 1857, that was not new. Before that 1857, there were so many upheavals, upsurges. Then you may say the rebellion, the rebellion. We will discuss it in detail. Okay, discuss it in detail. But then 1858 to 1885, this phase is the phase of before INC, that is Indian National Congress. So 1858 to 1885. Then in 1885, INC, Indian National Congress, was found, and up to 1905, the period is important with a view that the moderates, liberals, in other words, the moderates, they were very much of belief that a petition, prayer and petition, this was the modus operandi. But then after what happened? In 1905, Bengal was partitioned. Bengal was partitioned. Then after, the rise of extremism, the rise of extremism. And this 1906 to 1915. So this period is noted for the extremists. Then after, in 1915, Gandhi, MG, the father of our nation, he comes on the platform. And then after, the period is Gandhian era from 1950 to the period that is 1947, the year of our independence. So this way you can divide the period for better understanding of history, modern India, and for your grip over the subject. Because what type of questions are being asked? So let us see what is there, what has been asked right from 2011 to 2020. What has been asked? Yes, I will discuss, and I will read only the topic, not the question. Okay, not the question. So let us see what is there in the year 2011. What are the most important with respect to modern India? I am discussing modern India. So the first question in 2011 relates to tribal insurrection in India in the 19th century. Okay, please memorize it. Tribal insurrection. Now, onto this last, influence on MG, Mahatma Gandhi. This was a book unto this last, and Nehru's report recommendations. What were the recommendations? Through Nehru's report, land settlement system of Cornwallis. Cornwallis. So these were the questions being asked in 2011. What is the objective behind discussing these questions and topics? Because I am going to ensure that UPSC is also believing in repetitions. Okay, there are some topics, there are some chapters from which questions are coming time and again, repeatedly. So this is my objective. So what is next? Let us see. Quit India movement 1942. And this topic is very, very important because the questions have been asked in the year 2011, 2013 repeatedly. And what type of questions? MCQ. Because this is prelims examination. I am discussing only prelims examination. So quit India movement, we have to study. Okay. Then home charges during colonial rules. 1993 Indian Parliamentary Committee. Then Kheda Satyagrah led by Mahatma Gandhi. Regions. This was also there. And most important, Usha Mehta, a well-known for Secret Congress radio during QIM. What is this? Quit India movement. So once again, Quit India movement and Usha Mehta. And you will find the most important noted personality as far as the Indian national movement is concerned. UPSC has asked at least one figure. Okay, women or men. So the next Rowlatt Act, Rowlatt Act, and it has been asked twice, thrice. Then INC Lahore session. This is also very, very important. Lahore session. 3 times it has been asked. Land revenue assessment, mobile canon use. Okay. Then features of Government of India 1919. This act has been asked 2015, then 2016 repeatedly. Repeatedly. Then after 1939 resignation of Congress ministries in 3 provinces, then National Social Conferences formation region, then B.R. Ambedkar parties, okay, which he formed the political parties. Then MG's 1932 fast unto death causes, Rayatwari settlement, DBN. DBN is also very, very important. You all know who is DBN. Dadabhai Nauroji. Dadabhai Nauroji. Then any Besant, Ilbert Bill controversy. This is also Tebhag peasant movement in Bengal. Simon Commission agitation, Radcliffe Committee. So these were the topics being asked. Now partition of Bengal, this was asked in the year 2014. Gadar and then Queen Victoria's proclamation of 1858, that is GOI Act. Then Rowlatt Satyagraha, once again, this was asked in 2015. Economic critic of colonialism in India, Congress Socialist Party, salt law break in Tanjore, coast 1930. Then very simple question, who was the first women president of INC, Indian National Congress, and who was the first Muslim president of the INC, Indian National Congress. Then cabinet mission 1946, you all know. Then split in INC contributed by Swadeshi movement 1907, you all know that there was a split. Then Satya Sodhak Samaj, Montagu Chelmsford proposals, okay, you all know. Then there is a question, Indian Reform Association, Kesav Chandra Sen. So this is personality number 3, Kesav Chandra Sen. Then Cripps Mission, Swadeshi and Boycott, yes, and Butler Committee. Then pair matching question, Trade Dispute Act of 1929, Factories Act 1881, and pioneer of labor movement, he was N.M. Lokhande. So he is personality number 4. Now mutiny in Royal Indian Navy during QIM, so Quit India movement once again. So the second round table conference, altogether there were 3 round table conference, you all know. So there is a question. Then in 2018, introduction of English education in India. Then Charter Act of 1813, 1813. You all know that there were 3 Charter Acts. Charter Act, and the trick to memorize is that all the Charter Acts, okay, the last digit is 3. 1813, 1833, and 1853. So it is all 3. The last digit is 3. 1813, 1833, and 1853. So these were the 3 Charter Acts. Charter Acts. Okay, we will read it in, learn it in detail. Then after Swaraj Sabha, yes, chronology, yes, chronology. The 2-3 questions have been asked regarding chronology. Then educational institution during colonial rule. Yes, this is also. Then after Champaran Satyagraha, Kheda, you have already found it. Now Anand Kumar, 1919, 1930. Yes, yes, yes. 1813, 1813. Dear, it is not 19, it should be 18. Very good, Anandji. So Hind Mazdoor Sabha, then Santhal Rising, and in 2019 you see Charter Act 1813, repeated question. Then Swadeshi movement, pair matching question, and once again there were 2 questions related to pair matching. And this year, that is 2020, you might be remembering what was asked, Ulgulan. What is Ulgulan? The movement from this state of Jharkhand, that is Santhal uprising, led by, and you may find the leader in the name, that is Birsa Munda. Birsa Munda, yes. Then Fort William College, Calcutta. This was also asked during this year. Indigo cultivation decline. 1884 Rakhambai case. This case is was very important. Then Vital uh, Vidwansak, yes, and Gandhi Irwin Pact and Desher Katha. Desher Katha. So these were the questions during 2020. So what do we find? What do we find? If we take the modern Indian history and go through all the pages, it's not necessary. It's not important. Just take one reading of the NCERT book, and then after a spectrum. A spectrum. And if you find time, then Bipin Chandra. You have to choose between Bipin Chandra and a spectrum. Both the books are very good books. But the base should be NCERT. Because the questions have been asked from NCERT. NCERT. And this way, you can say yourself what is the purpose, what is the modus operandi of asking questions. Now, I have also categorized the different segments. And what are those segments? Take, for example, socio-religious association. You should memorize. It started in the year 1815. So what was the name of that association? Atmiya Sabha. Atmiya Sabha. And this Atmiya Sabha was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Rai, RQ, in the year 1815. Then after you see, in 1828, Brahmo Samaj. And once again, this was founded by Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Then after, in the next year, that is 1829, Dharma Sabha, and this was founded by Radhakant Dev. So you have to memorize, because you may find this question not only as MCQ, CTFS type of question, you may find this question in chronology, order question, or pair matching question. So there are three sources. CTFS, consider the following statement, pair matching, and then after chronological order. So you have to memorize it. Then after, in the year 1839, Tattvabodhini Sabha, and the founder is Devendranath Tagore. Then after, Brahma Samaj of India. Okay, so this is very important. In 1866, Brahma Samaj of India, and this was founded by Kesav Chandra Sen. Then after, you see 1867, Prarthana Samaj, and the founder is Atma Ram Pandurang. Atma Ram Pandurang. Then after, you see 1875, Arya Samaj, and the founder is Dayanand Saraswati. So this way, these are the socio-religious associations. And you see the political associations, or more or less the associations related to civil rights. Some of the most important associations were 1830 Landholders Society, and this society was founded by Dwarkanath Tagore, 1830, 1830. Then in the year 1866, East India Association by DBN, Dadabhai Nauroji, DBN. Then 1870, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha, S. Chipulankar. Then 1872, Indian Society by Anand Mohan Bose. 1884, Madras Mahajan Sabha, G.S. Iyer. Dada Bhai Nauroji. Yes. So these are the associations which are very important. Okay. On our next meeting, I will be discussing with you the uprising, rebellion, revolt. These are very important because you may find a question from socio-religious, then association, then uprising, rebellion, and revolt. Fourth segment will be acts. Acts. Okay, Charter Act, Council Act, Government of India Act, and the first one is Regulating Act 1773. The second one, Pitt's India Act 1784. Then after, we will enter into the actual phase of Indian freedom struggle. We should say freedom struggle because you see, after Bengal partition and the advent of MG, what do we find? We find that the movement starts. Now the movement is becoming pan-India movement. Take for example, NCM. What is NCM? Non-cooperation movement. In the year 1920. Non-cooperation movement. Then CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement, in the year 1930. QIM, Quit India Movement, 1942. So these are the three important movements, and all these three movements are pan-India movements. So we have to study these three movements. Okay, just I am making your modern India just in your grip, like this. You are catching it. You are catching it very much. The things are not scattered. It's within your reach, and you are going to build up better understanding, permanent understanding. You cannot forget it because this way, if you are studying, it is going to pay during your mains answer writing, because there you will be able to draw the diagrams, the flow charts, and underlining of important sayings. Okay, your sentences. So this way, this should be the strategy. Now, after looking at the previous year's questions, another most important aspect is the UPSC is asking questions related to the current affairs. How can you correlate history with current affairs? Yes. Take for example, the 500 years ceremony, birth ceremony, death ceremony, founding ceremony, that becomes important. 100 years, 75 years, like this. So everything is 100 years. So this way, that becomes current affairs. The history correlates with current affairs. So we should be very much alert, because just during the previous week, you might have gone through the Hindu paper, newspaper, and you might have found Rakhi Gadhi. So many new facts are coming. So, of course, that topic relates to ancient India, but ancient India is equally important. Yes, Nikki Kumari is telling something, non-cooperation movement 100th anniversary. Just see, this is your IQ and this should be your intelligence. Okay? So this way you can have a clear-cut understanding of modern India. And this very modus operandi we have to adopt while reading ancient India, medieval India. Okay. I had already told you during course of our preparation of previous year's prelims examination that not a single question from medieval India. That happened. That happened. But now I expect some questions from art and culture as far as the medieval India is concerned. So this way, uh, I have I had planned my lecture for today, and now tomorrow is Tuesday, so I will be taking up the Indian Constitution, polity, as well as international relations. I will start with international relations because you have gone through the Indian Constitution. We will take up Indian Constitution later on, but tomorrow we will be reading international relation. So that will be the topic. On Wednesday, it will be economy, Indian economy, and on Thursday, we will be reading science and technology. Then after on Friday, the GS paper 4, that is ethics. On Saturday and Sunday, I will be sending you MCQs. MCQs. So this year, everybody has to ensure me that your preparation is up to the mark. Okay? You have to labor hard. You have to labor hard because you have enough time, but be alert. Read at least one newspaper. Prepare your own notes. Prepare your own class notes. I will take up most all important points. I will be dictating you the current affairs related most important questions, but you have to be with me. You have to be with me. Here, yes, Priyanka. Okay, sir, definitely, sir. So everybody is promising. So this is great. And if you have to succeed, you have to follow some rules. Those rules should be your personal rules. Okay? You have to innovate something. You have to be consistent. You have to manage, you have to manage your time properly. Every day you should learn something. Every day you should prepare something. Every day you should think new. So this way, if you are preparing, then you are able to crack the UPSC. This should be the modus operandi, according to me. And the most important aspect is that you should think that this examination is in three parts: the prelims, mains, and personality test. So you should be alert. Don't think that I have to prepare only for prelims examination and after the publishment of result of the prelims examination, you will go for the mains examination. No. Right from day one, you should think about prelims, mains, and the personality test. So you should start writing, essay writing, optional papers answer writing, GS paper 1, 2, 3, 4 answer writing. So such habit should be there. So UPSC preparation is preparation in totality. It's a total preparation. You cannot escape anything. And if you believe in these words, then be sure that you are going to get success. So with these words, let us conclude our class today. So tomorrow, once again at the same time, that is 7:30, we will be meeting once again. So bye-bye. Good night.